So there you are, that is our Basturma made. Easy to make, it just takes time. Is it worth it? Oh yes it is. Hi, welcome to Backyard Chef, I'm Rick. Today we're doing a Mediterranean, we're doing Basturma, which is a dried cured meat. It has no nitrates or anything in there. It's a fantastic dried meat. And it starts off with making a rub, putting it on the meat, sticking it in the fridge. It goes in the fridge for 7 days. However, we are making it with pork loin. Normally made with beef, but you know, we're going to make it with pork loin. It's so easy. So in here then, I've got this fantastic pork loin. This is around about 2 kilos. You've got a 2 kilo piece of pork loin there. Okay, we need to make a rub. So we're going to make the rub first, and then we're going to rub it all over there and stick that in a Ziploc bag. It can't be any simpler. We want salt, because we've got to cure this thing. So that is sea salt. I have cumin, I have coriander, cinnamon. Don't forget, it's a Mediterranean recipe. Black pepper, cayenne, paprika. We want a little bit of sweetness. That's sugar. Right, I'll just mix this first before chucking in my garlic. So we're going to give this rub a good mixing through. And then we're going to chuck in our minced garlic. Give that a mix in there. Okay. This can't be any simpler, can it? We're going to chuck that on that. On there with some of that rub. And give it a little patting on. We want it on there. Okay? Turn it over on there with the rest of that rub. And then get some of that rub on the sides. Now we're going to put all the rub in the bag as well. So whatever doesn't stick, it's going to actually be on there anyway. And then do the ends. That's it basically. We can't do any more than that. It's got whatever sticks on, sticks on. And then when it goes in the bag, it'll be in there with the rest of the rub, and we're going to keep turning it over. For 7 days we'll turn it over, and that means that the salt spice mixture will keep going round the meat. And we're not going to be draining off the fluid. We're just going to leave it in the bag, keep turning it over. This is an easy recipe. Right, will that go in there? It's going in. Whether it wants to or not, it's going in there. Okay, we want that in your bag. So, okay, and we want all that in that bag. So it's a steady one, we want that in there. Down one side. The rub smells amazing, you know, you can smell the cumin, the coriander. I've got smoky paprika. Oh, it's incredible. And it's just a case of zip-locking your bag. And I don't think this one's in a zip-lock because we got all that blooming powder on there. It will. Squash out a little bit of air if you can. It just makes it a little bit easier when it goes in the fridge. Now I'm going to double bag this. I don't want it leaking, you know. In another bag, it shouldn't leak, it should be fine. So there we have our pork loin ready for the fridge. Now we're going to refrigerate. It's going in for 7 days. So mark down that you've got it in the fridge, and when you put it in, and then every day turn over. Next day turn over, and it's going to keep turning over and cure with that natural cure. Catch you in 7 days. Okay, welcome back. Here is our Basturma, our pork that's been cured in the fridge. It's now the 11th. It went in on the 4th. Feels quite firm. Right, what we have to do now, we have to rinse it off, rinse all the spices off, rinse everything off. We're just going to do it under the tap. And then we're going to pat it dry with kitchen towel, and we're going to stick it on a rack. We're just going to leave it here to air dry for about between 24 and 48 hours. You want the top to feel leathery. Now you could tie it all up with string and hang it up if you want, but there's no need to go to all that bother if you can stand it on a rack. So we're just going to rinse this off. So there's nothing really special about this. We just need to get it out of there, and we need to give it a rinse. I'm going to rinse it under the cold water. We don't want any of those spices, so they can go. Now I can tell you, this smells absolutely unbelievable. It really does. That has got a great smell on there. So that's our meat in there. Take yourself some kitchen towel, and we want to pat it dry. Okay, and we want to take our rack, and we're going to do no more than that. So leave it on there 24 to 48 hours. I'm going to leave it 24 hours and see what it looks like, and if it's okay to go, we'll cover it in the spices and carry on. So it needs to be leathery. See you in 24 hours. Okay, we are back. 2 days this has been sat on the side. It's been air drying, and it is quite firmed up now. Look, that is a quite nice firm piece of pork on there. That's our Basturma. So what we have to do now is make up charman that goes over the top, basically spices. So in here I've got water, that is ground paprika, that is a lot of cayenne, mustard, black pepper, cumin and garlic powder. Give it a mix. We want a thick paste to cover that. And if you have to use a little bit more water, you're going to have to put it in. But we want a really thick paste to cover over that meat. I think that's about got it. Okay, our meat. We want to get our paste on there. All of it. So it doesn't matter how you get it on, you have to get it on. So smother your paste all over your meat. This is going to be like a spicy seal. And then what we're going to do, we're going to put it in a cloth and we're going to hang it for 2 weeks. Wow. Now this is a Middle Eastern type recipe with the spices. We're going to keep it a little bit traditional, but you know, you could add any spices you like, you know. Okay, so that is our meat there. And yes, I am using gloves because we are messing around with quite a lot of pepper and chili And the cayenne is very, very strong and potent, so I don't want to be burning my hands. So coat it up the best you can. Try and get a really nice seal crust on there with our spices. Okay, so that's our beautiful piece of meat there, and we are going to put that on a cloth. Okay, we need a cloth, and this is just cheesecloth. It's just 100% cotton cloth, and basically all we're going to do is make a parcel of that meat on there. So we're going to pick that up. I'm just going to put that on there like that. I'm going to put my meat back on there, and where I've had my fingers and hand grabbing hold of it, I'm going to put that back on there. And then we're going to get rid of these gloves so we can work. And then basically is wrap it up like a parcel. That's all we're doing. So I'm going to come over there like that. I'm going to bring this end up there like that. And I'm just going to fold into any old which way, just to fold it up into a parcel. It doesn't matter how you achieve it, so don't stress about tying it up in any particular way. Now you can wrap it, but you know, this thing needs to actually breathe. So okay, you can see it coming through there, but it needs to breathe. So we don't want to wrap it too much, you know. And then we just want to take some string. Oh, it's quite thick, this string. Take some string and tie it up, and we're going to hang it up. So let's start somewhere about there. Now again, it does not matter how you tie it up, just tie it. So that is our parcel of meat right there. All we're going to do is hang that up in a well ventilated area, and then all you do is you give it a squeeze in about 2 weeks time, and if it's very firm but you can still squeeze some softness, it's ready. So that is going to be hung up for 2 weeks. See you in 2 weeks. Okay, we are back. It's the big day. We've got our meat quite solid. Give it a squeeze. It does feel a little bit soft inside, but it's rock hard. It's the grand unveiling. We need to take this off, get that cloth off there, and have a look. So we just need to be cutting our string. Let's get that string off there. You're going to see it for the first time with me. Now let's unveil our present. Oh my word. Look at that. Oh, the smell on there is incredible. Look, it's rock hard, it's got a good casing on there. You can smell that cumin and the paprika, and oh man. Knife. Let's just take that end off there so we can work with some perfect slices. That is absolutely incredible. Oh man, just look at that. That is absolutely phenomenal. So here we are with the Basturma. I mean, this is just so incredible. It's easy to make, but it's a lengthy time. Is it worth it? Of course it is. Of course it is. There's nothing better than sitting around with friends, you know, a cheese board, you've got some cured meat. It's inexpensive to make. You know, you buy serrano ham, I can't afford it. It is too expensive. This is a fantastic cured meat. Really is superb. And if you look at it, that is perfectly cured. What does it taste like? That tastes fantastic. Oh heck. Salty. Spicy. Oh, perfectly cured. That is tremendous. Okay, a rundown on what we did. Here's my notes, just exactly as they are. We started this on the 4th. We went from the 4th to the 11th curing it. And then on the 11th, we took out, as you remember, we took it out and we let it air dry. We air dried it and then we put the charman on. Now, the charman went on the 14th. It went on the 14th and now we've unwrapped it. It's the 28th today. We've unwrapped it on the 28th. Look at that. Perfect Basturma or Basturma made right there. That is a superb cured meat. That really is. Oh. Okay, so you've taken all that time to actually cure it and everything else. You are not going to waste this. You cannot eat it all in one day, not unless there's a big bunch of you. How do you store it? Well, you're going to take yourself an airtight box. This is probably not completely airtight, but we're not going to worry about that. Or a Ziploc bag, anything like that. And very quickly we will just, I'm sat down, which is no good for this job. You take some parchment paper and you wrap it. Wrap it in parchment. Okay. You either shove it in a Ziploc bag or you shove it in a container wrapped in the parchment. The parchment is letting it breathe in there. Lid on, and that goes in the fridge. So in the fridge this will last for 3 months, up to 3 months. That is how long it will last. If you freeze it, and you can cut this into portions and you can freeze it up to 6 months. So there you are, that is our Basturma made. Easy to make, it just takes time. Is it worth it? Oh yes it is. So if you like what we're doing, it's a big thumbs up, it's subscribe to that channel, it's ring the bell so you don't miss any notifications when we upload, and there are a lot of uploads to come. So until the next video, take care.